Hello, first graders. Welcome to a new English lesson. Please get your reading and writing workshop book ready and let's start. We are on Unit 5, Week 3. Remember, this unit we talked about things around us. We talked about how to classify and categorize things. We also talked about how things make sense around us. What can you see in the sky? What can we see in the night? What can we see during the day? Today we'll be talking about inventions, and we'll be talking and reading about inventors and inventions they made. So as we see here, new ideas, great invention, the weekly concept. What inventions do you know about? So as we see, this is an old picture, so old resource. I can see that it's black and white, an old TV. As you see, it was huge, big. Look at the buttons that there's no remote control. You need to go and switch the button on or off, or even change the channels. And also from the way they dressed up, I can tell that this is also kind of something happened in the past. All right. So we will be using few words related to this topic. So let's start.
Great inventions. What inventions do you know about? When you hear the word inventions, you may think of the Wright brothers' first airplane, but we use inventions almost every minute of the day. Here's an interesting invention. It's simple, but so useful. Imagine trying to cut without scissors. How about zippers? Zippers are on your clothes, your backpack, everywhere. What did people use before the zipper was invented? Inventions give us new ways to get things done. This boy made a model of a new way to heat our homes. Anyone can be an inventor. What ideas do you have for a new invention?
Very good. So let's see. What do we have here?
Alexander Graham Bell invented the first telephone.
So this is Graham Bell. He's the inventor, and he invents the first telephone. Let's see something else.
Did you know that the first cameras were made out of wood?
This is something only you find at a museum or books, or maybe if you Google on the internet.
How did people carry something to drink before juice boxes were invented?
Then
compact fluorescent light bulbs were invented to save energy.
Okay, so we talked about these people. All right, let's learn more. So this is a picture of telephones. This is how it looks in the beginning, long ago. Then this one, and now look at it. First was huge, need to be installed or hanged on a wall. Then it become handy that you can put on a table or something. And now look at it, just a small device that you can even put in your pocket.
Great inventions. What inventions do you use in your daily life? What would your life be like without them? You use inventions all the time. An invention is something new. Inventors are curious people. They figure out how to solve problems. An inventor can imagine a new thing that will help make people's lives easier. What would life be like without telephones? People used to communicate by sending letters. If the letter was going far away, that meant it could take weeks to get important news. People also sent coded messages called telegrams. Telegrams came quickly, but you had to learn a special code to send them. Over 100 years ago, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. It carried people's voices to faraway places. Soon, people could make calls from their homes and jobs. They could share news, make plans, order goods, and much more. But people needed to call from other places too. New inventors made cell phones that could call from anywhere. Today, cell phones can also send text messages and help you go online.
All right, that's an important invention that we use every day. Let's listen and learn about more inventions.
How would you read at night if it weren't for electric light? The light bulb is another invention that changed the world. For many years, people used fire to make light. Burning wood, candles, and oil made a dim, smoky light. Lights that burned gas came next. Gas lights cost less and gave off more light, but they were dangerous. Breathing the gas made people sick. Gas lights sometimes caused fires, too. People needed a bright, safe light. Then, an inventor made streetlights that used electric sparks. These were safer, but they didn't last long. People needed an electric light that would last a long time. In 1879, Thomas Edison found a way to make a light bulb that was both safe and long-lasting. His invention let people see at night while they worked, played, and studied. Today, inventors still work to improve the light bulb. The newest light bulbs give off less heat and use less energy, and like Edison's light bulb, they last a long time.
All right, let's see another invention. Look at the cars in the old days up there in the picture, and look what we have now. All right.
Can you picture a world with no cars? The invention of cars changed the way people live. Long ago in America, most people traveled by foot, by horse, or by train. People who walked or rode horses could go anywhere, but travel was slow. Riding a train was faster, but people could only go where the trains went. In 1893, the first gasoline-powered car in America was invented. Now, people could drive anywhere there was a road. At first, cars were made slowly, one by one. The work was complicated. The cars cost a lot of money. Then, in the early 1900s, Henry Ford changed the way cars were made. He invented the assembly line to make cars. A person who is a part of an assembly line makes only one part of the car. Other workers make other parts of the car. The workers can do their work very quickly. Because Ford's assembly lines made cars quickly, his Model T cars were less expensive than other cars. Many people had enough money to purchase one of these cars. Now, people could live in one place and drive to work someplace else. Many people still do this. Cars have let us travel far.
All right, so we learned about phones, we learned about electricity, about cars. Let's see what we have here, laptop and computers.
Do you use a computer in class or at home? Computers help us in many ways. They help us to write and send messages. They help us find information quickly. They help doctors know what is wrong with sick people. Who helped create this very useful machine? Computers did not have just one inventor. They had many. The first computers in America were used in the 1940s and early 50s. They were huge. They filled whole rooms at colleges and businesses. Inventors imagined that one day people would use computers in their homes. They looked for ways to make parts smaller and easier to use. They invented the microchip. This tiny device allowed computers to do more and take up less space. People could own personal computers. The first personal computers were heavy. Most stood on a desk or a table in a person's home. Then inventors figured out how to make computers smaller and lighter. Laptop computers are easy to carry around. People continue to invent new computers and programs that let us use computers in new ways. It is fun to imagine what computers of the future might do.
Great. So we saw 4 new inventions that we use them daily. And we saw how does it start, like a car or the phone, and how, or a laptop, and now how it become handy and more easy to use. Okay, let's go for our words. All right, so let's learn the new words that we'll see in this lesson. Curious.
Curious. I was curious about whales, so I read a book about them. Curious. If you are curious about something, you are interested in it and want to know more about it.
Like Curious George, that the story we always read about the monkey, that curious means interested in learning about specific things. So let's listen to the word one more time.
Curious. I was curious about whales, so I read a book about them.
Interested about, learning about whales. Okay, let's go for that next word.
Improve. Adding cheese will improve the flavor of this dish.
All right, improve mean make it better. So you can say, well, you need to practice more to improve your handwriting, or you need to practice riding your bike more to improve your riding. Or here is improve, make it better. As we say, adding cheese will improve the flavor of the dish. All right, next word.
Complicated. Sarah tried to fix the broken clock, but it was too complicated. Complicated. If something is complicated, it has many parts and is difficult to understand.
All right, so complicated means it's difficult to understand. And here in this example, it's complicated means there's a lot to learn about or to know how to use it. So let's listen to the example one more time.
Complicated. Sarah tried to fix the broken clock, but it was too complicated.
All right, let's go for the next word.
Device. Dad has a device that measures how much air is in the tires on the car.
One more time.
Device. Dad has a device that measures how much air is in the tires on the car.
So device is like an object that it's made to do a certain job. For example, here the device, as it says, Dad has a device to measure how much air in the tires, or like the can opener, it's just also another device that you use it to open cans. All right. Next word. Imagine.
Imagine. Nina likes to imagine that she is a princess living in a castle.
One more time.
Imagine. Nina likes to imagine that she is a princess living in a castle. Imagine. When you imagine something, you think of something that isn't real or that hasn't happened.
Okay, so you're thinking about it. That's why this bubbles, like it's in your head. You're thinking, you're imagining that things it's not happening or didn't happen, but you think that, but so as we say, she imagines she's a princess. All right. Let's listen to this story about inventors and what did they invent. All right. The Wright brothers.
Genre. Biography. Essential question. What inventions do you know about? The Wright Brothers. By Mel Abelin. Paired read. Poetry. Fly away, butterfly. Page 13.
Right.
Meet Wilbur and Orville Wright. These brothers flew the first airplane. Wilbur was born in 1867. Orville was born in 1871. Caption: Wilbur is above and Orville is on the right.
So this is Orville and this is Wilbur.
Wilbur and Orville loved to learn. They liked to think of new ideas. Caption: School desks looked like this.
So biography or informational text, this is like tells about real people. So we're talking about real people. This is how they look like, and this is real information about them. And usually someone else write this story. Someone else tell us about what they do or about them. And it's always time order. So this is how they start when they're young, and then what did they do later on, and you usually use photograph or illustration like drawing to give you more information about what they're talking about. All right, let's go.
Stop and check. Who flew the first airplane?
Okay, we just talked about it. The brother, Wilbur and Orville. These are the first brothers that they flew an airplane. All right, let's go for the next page.
One day, Wilbur got hurt playing hockey. He read to pass the time. It took him 3 years to heal. Caption: This is where Wilbur lived while he healed.
So this is real place, real picture.
Orville began working in a print shop. When Wilbur felt better, he worked there too. Caption: Letters like these were used for printing.
Okay. Next.
Later, the brothers had an idea. They ran a bike shop and made an unusual bike. It had 2 wheels that were the same size. Caption: Early bikes looked like this.
So this is what it looks like, and that's what the 2 brothers did.
The brothers used the money they earned to learn more about flight. Caption: Wilbur and Orville's father stands at the center of this family picture.
Okay. And now if we ask this question, how did...
Stop and check. How did the Wright brothers earn money?
How did they earn money? When they both were working in the wheel shop. Okay, next page, or bike shop.
The Wright brothers were sure they could make a flying machine. First, they had to guess how to do it. Then they found they were right. They made a glider that worked. Caption: This was the 3rd glider that the Wright brothers built.
And next.
The Wrights went to a beach to test their first plane. It was 1903. Caption: The beach was in North Carolina.
All right. Next.
Orville soared in the air for 12 seconds. Airplane flight had begun. Caption: Wilbur and others watched Orville fly.
Can you see them there?
There was an event to thank the Wright brothers in 1928. A statue was made to honor them. Caption: Big wings are carved into the sides of the statue.
All right. And that's what how these 2 brothers start their life. We saw them how they look alike, where they live, and what did they do for living as a job, and then how did they become well-known and famous people. All right. So we learned about invention and inventors. And we saw different things and things we used every day. So like cars, or like computer or telephone, lights, which is electricity, and things that make our life easy nowadays. All right, that's it for today, first graders. Thank you.